with a really good class here. I think there's a pretty logical place to lead off with, and one that I just think wins pretty handily, and the way that she ties together what I've been talking about all day in regards to just a maternal, just kind of nice female type look to her. And still, I think is the best one in here in regards to structural makeup and the way that she's built. I think it gets just a little closer between second and third. This effort in second, there's a lot of horsepower here. That's a big frame, stout made kind of female that is still pretty good in terms of just how she reads up front. But the problem is that she's a little much, and I would just like to tone her back just a little bit because she's wanting to maybe get outside of herself, but she gets out and walks. But, you know, I think a heifer that there's still some breeding value in one that has that kind of boldness and that kind of power. Young lady's heifer in third, could have switched that pair. She's a little bit conservative and maybe a little more like what I've picked today in regards to just a more feminine kind of look to her. You get this heifer in motion, I think she struggles just a little bit out of her rear skeleton. A little too straight there in her honk, and that'll kind of push that tail head up out of her. And she gets a little relative to her frame. I still actually think she's maybe the tightest in her flank. So it's a little strange, a little antagonistic, but that's why I put her in third. But like I said, if you want to switch that pair, I wouldn't argue much with you. I think 4 and 5 are close as well. I like the extra power and the performance in the heifer in 4. She's a little too coarse there in her hock joint. I'd like to just square her up and get her out and off the lead with a little more flex and reach. Give her more slope there through her shoulder and her knee to move her up in her high. Round that class out again with one that's got some substance. She's got some performance and some growth to her. Pretty good in her top line, but got to change this heifer's structure. She's a little bit far beyond what I call ideal, and relative to her size, I'd like to soften her. But this young lady's done a great job with this heifer as well. She's presented. Those kids are doing an excellent job in this class. Congratulations.
First place in our intermediate heifer champion went to Lane Hagan with entry 5727. Second place in our reserve for that division went to Courtney Fernandez with entry 6062. Third place went to entry 3218, shown by Jenna Shearer. Fourth place went to entry 3821, shown by Caitlin Berry. And fifth place went to entry 5997, shown by Braden Bocci. Coming into the ring next will be Class 8, our April Junior Yearling heifers. We have Mia and Seniors with entry 6383.
Just a single entry here. We're going to keep this show rolling, but you brought me a nice heifer, and that's a really nice class winner that's very sensible in terms of her size, body type matches, and she's refined enough in regards to her features. So we'll get you back out here in a second, but that's a nice heifer here. I'm glad you brought her because she definitely is going to be competitive. Congratulations.
First place went to entry 6383, shown by Mia Encinius. Coming into the ring next will be Class 9, our March Junior Yearling heifers. We will have entry 6086, shown by Nicole Myers, and entry 5952, shown by Lindsay Craycraft. I would also like to issue my first call for breed champions to begin making your way ringside to compete for our Supreme Heifer. Again, breed champions if you receive Champion Angus, a Reserve Champion Angus, Champion Brangus, a Reserve Brangus, Champion Hereford, a Reserve Hereford, Champion Red Angus, a Reserve Red Angus, Champion Shorthorn, a Reserve Red Shorthorn, Champion AOB, a Reserve AOB. Make your way to the ring so you can check in. The Supreme Drive will be starting right after our percentage show is done. of our AOB show, Early Junior Yearling Heifers, Aaron Curley with entry 3348 and Justin Cozy with entry 5990. You need to make your way ringside and check in at the south gate. Aaron Curley and Justin Cozy with your Early Junior Yearling Heifers ringside.
Good pair of junior yearlings here, and they're a little different in terms of their kind, but I'm pretty confident in the way that I like them. Heifer that wins the class, I'll give up just a little bit of extra punch and power to get what I think is maybe just a little more ladylike. If you just read her head and the way her muscle lays onto her body, I just think this heifer's a little bit more feminine. She's not perfect in how she goes. I'd like to lay her shoulder in and tuck it in just a little neater, but I still think she has enough of a decisive advantage in the way she controls her lower joints to go ahead and confidently lead off with that heifer. Nice job, young lady. You got a good heifer there to start. This heifer here in second is no slouch. I mean, this one is bulky. She is stout, powerful. I love the shape she has to her rib cage. To me, she's just a little much because it's starting to compromise her look. She's a little coarser there, head, shoulder shape. I like to change the way her hop flexes and just make her a little smoother in the way not only she ties together, but the extra muscle that she brings, just like the blade on a little more maternally. But a good, powerful heifer there. Again, the young lady's done a wonderful job with this one. Congratulations to both of those exhibitors.
First place in Class 9 of our March Junior Yearling Heifers, we have entry 5952, exhibited by Lindsay Craycraft. Second place went to entry 6086, exhibited by Nicole Myers. Coming in the ring, we will have Class 10, our Early Junior Yearling Heifers, with entry 3348, exhibited by Aaron Curley, and entry 5990, exhibited by Justin Cozy.
Who are you waiting on, babe?
Aaron's on his way from the barn.
Yeah.
And Justin, I don't know where he is.
Justin, no, I need Justin and Aaron. We're waiting on class 10 right now.
Understanding was one of the goals on Facebook. Yeah, what's can I just what is your it's Positano Nicole NICOL @gmail. And the champion prospects here? Yeah, Georgia. Alright, I will have the people let me know about you. Okay, no one will. It should be well, we're taking everyone's time now so that we can send it to you for the 15th. Okay. Do you have one Alright, I'll put your the photo picture and make sure. But I don't think it would be a problem because she already has it. She does? Yes. Oh, perfect. You're welcome. But you want me to tell him to email it to me? Yeah, that's fine. Or I'll find you after the show. Yeah, that would be after the heifer show. Yep, sounds good. Thank you. You're welcome.
Justin Cozy with entry 5990. You need to make your way to the ring. Your class is due in the ring right now. Justin Cozy, entry 5990. You need to be in the ring. I'm going to also issue a second call for our breed champions to be making their way over and checking in. With our champion Angus, we have entry 2486, Styles Patton. With our champion Brangus, we have entry 27278, Connor Keel. With our champion Hereford, we have entry 7702, Madison Fisher. With our champion Red Angus, we have 4548, Madison Fisher. With our champion Shorthorn, we have entry 5927, Taylor White. With our champion AOB, we have entry 6308, Brentley Wilkerson. Our reserve Angus 6446, Braden Wheeler. Our reserve Brangus entry 7275 Dakota Heat. Reserve Hereford 6031 Caitlin Doors. Reserve Red Angus 4555 Madison Fisher. Reserve Shorthorn 6001 Cameron Matos. Reserve AOB 3359. You need to make your way to the south side gate and check in. Reserve AOB was Aaron Curley, by the way. And you need to make your way to the south side gate and check in, because after we finish our percentage drive, followed by our single cow-calf entry, we will be rolling right into Supreme Overall Heifer.
These when I'm watching this.
This is an on-deck call for Class 13, Shaylee Owen with entry 6099. You need to make your way to ringside and check in. Entry 6099, Shaylee Owen to ringside and check in.
Another good pair of heifers here, and I'm actually going to just leave them the way they stand. This black and white heifer is going to be our class winner, and the black one's going to be second. But I'll tell you that I went off my first impression, because the longer they were out here, the closer and closer I thought this pair started to get. And they were a little bit different, and I wouldn't say that either one of these heifers just truly perfect structure. They're just different in a few spots. And with that being said, I think this one's just a little sharper. Just as you combine just the extra substance that she has with just probably, to me, a little neater and fresher kind of look to her as regards to her condition, I think those two things put together those two things put together give her just a little neater kind of look. And yeah, she'd be tipped back in her shoulder, and I wish her neck would just come out just a little bit higher. But again, I think that heifer, neither one of them perfects structure, so she's a little sharper to look at. We'll go ahead and lead off with that one. I love the brood cow function in this heifer. This is a bold-bodied, soft-made, incredibly functional kind of female. Just a little bit cleaner just in how she's put together, both in terms of her head and her chest. Get right behind her, I think her pin set's a little plain. She's functional, and she's probably better at the angle of her shoulder, but she still sets down a little bit awkwardly there on her rear pastern. So give and take. If you like the pair the other way, don't argue much with you. Those are two good females that represent a lot of quality. Congratulations.
First place in Class 10 Early Junior Yearling Heifers went to Aaron Curley with entry 3348. Second place went to Justin Cozy with entry 5990. We'll ask Aaron to stay in the ring while we bring back in the first places from our previous classes. Mia Encinius with entry 6383. And Lindsay Craycraft with entry 5952 to compete for our Junior Heifer Champion. We'll also bring the second places from the previous class back in. Nicole Myers with entry 6086 and Justin Cozy with entry 5990. We'll just ask them to hang back a bit until we get the first in.
They don't actually live. So they rehab all of those divisions.
Well, as these young folks go ahead and bring these heifers back to our stop and we finish up this division, another good quality set of heifers and a good quality set of kids that have put in a lot of time and effort in here. I've rambled on enough about some of these out here. I do want to say that this young lady's single entry that comes back, I think still a nice heifer, but maybe gets a little bit out horse in a comparative sense, but I just wanted to commend you. I think you got a good heifer there that deserves to be out here. I'm not going to break them down any further. To me, I think when you get them back out here, there is a pair of cattle that, although maybe not cut from the same mold, I still think they represent quality in different fashions. They were close in class, and I'm going to leave them together. Our class winner out of class 3 will be our champion. The second place to that one will be our reserve in this division. If you would, please put your hands together and congratulate these kids.
Our Junior Heifer Champion went to entry 3348 from Aaron Curley. Our second place went to entry 599, or reserve went to entry 5990, shown by Justin Cozy. Coming into the ring next will be Class 13 Early Senior Yearling Heifers. We have an entry from Shaylee Owen with entry 6099. We'd like to issue an on-deck call for our age division champions. In our percentage division, we have our junior heifer calf champion, Aaron Curley, with entry 6076. We have our senior heifer calf champion with entry 6218, C.W. Johnson. Our intermediate heifer champion, Lane Hagan, with entry 5727. And our junior heifer champion with entry 3348, Aaron Curley. We will also need our reserves from those divisions. From our junior heifer calf reserve is Aaron Curley, entry 3446. From our senior calf division, our reserve is 6382, Mia Encinias. From our intermediate, our reserve is Courtney Fernandez, entry 6062. And from our junior division, our reserve is Justin Cozy, entry 5990.
Just a single entry again, so we'll roll right through this. But an October heifer that still has some good in terms of her length of body and her substance. I wish she had maybe just a little more signs of calf inside of her, but when they're out on the road and they're showing, it can be tough and challenging. But I appreciate the shape that this heifer's in. Done a great job. We'll bring her back out for our division lineup, but congratulations again on an outstanding class one.
First place and our senior heifer champion went to entry 6099, Shaylee Owen. We'll ask Shaylee to stay in the ring while we bring back in our previous age champions to compete for our champion percentage. From our junior heifer calf division, we have Aaron Curley with entry 6076. From our senior heifer calf division, we have C.W. Johnson with entry 6218. From our intermediate heifer division, we have Lane Hagan with entry 5727. And from our junior heifer division, we have entry 3348 from my Aaron Curley. Our reserves for these divisions will follow the grands into the ring. From our junior heifer calf reserve, we have Aaron Curley, entry 3446. For our senior calf reserve, we have entry 6382, Mia Encinias. From our intermediate heifer reserve, we have Courtney Fernandez, 6062. For our junior heifer reserve, we have Justin Cozy, entry 5990. The cow calf division will follow our champion percentage drive, and following that, we will begin our supreme overall drive for our junior heifer show.
Taking roll call. I need to see who's all here. Probably on TV. Dalton on this side.
phenomenal division again, and it took us a little bit of time to get through it because not only did we find a lot of quality, but there was a lot of numbers as well. So apologize that it took me a little time to get through it, but I'm very pleased with what these kids have brought as a whole, and there's been some cattle we've already sent back to the barns that I think are very, very good and have a lot of breeding value going forward. So again, just like all those other divisions, when you get a set of cattle together that you're comfortable with, it just gives you that really unique opportunity as a judge to use the one that hits you the hardest in that particular class or division. I'm going to do that here in just a second, but I'd be remiss if I didn't congratulate all of these kids out here. If you would, at ringside, help me congratulate them, give them a nice round of applause, and I'll get you a champion of reserve in this percentage division.
Our champion percentage heifer was our intermediate heifer champion, Lane Hogan, with entry 5727. We'll bring in the reserve at division, Courtney Fernandez, with entry 6062 to compete for reserve champion overall. The other reserves are excused from the ring at this time.
Okay, please do. It makes it sound like I'm.
So after our Supreme Heifer Drive, we will be taking a short 5 to 10 minute break in order to work the arena, try and keep some of this dust down, and then we will roll into showmanship. Our champion percentage heifer went to entry 5727, Lane Hagan, and our reserve champion percentage heifer went to entry 6076, shown by Aaron Curley. Both will be receiving a banner that is sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show. Again, if you hear any prizes sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show, those prizes are open to sponsorship. Coming into the ring next will be our single entry cow-calf class with Lindley Johnson with entry 6226. Following our cow-calf class will be our Supreme Heifer Drive.
Well, just a single entry here in this cow-calf pair division. Really nice pair though. Obviously scared off some competition, but I think this cow is really fundamentally right. I think her joints are assembled correctly. I think she's got a nice start to her udder that's obviously allowing this calf to perform, and she still stays in the right flesh and has some quality too. So yeah, I mean it when I say it, this one could have withstood some competition. This is an awfully nice pair in a cow-calf pair division. So if you guys would give these two a nice round of applause again as they exit the ring.
our champion percentage cow calf in this division is entry 6226, shown by Lindley Johnson. As she exits the ring, we will begin bringing in our champions from our various breeds throughout the day in order to compete for our supreme heifer overall. While we're waiting for our breed champions to come in, we would like to go around and thank our various sponsors that are on the show ring. We would like to thank Showbloom, Paul Scales, Sullivan Supply, JBS, You Can Bid Auctions, Bales Hay Sales, the Brangus Association, Tractor Supply, All Flex, Empire Cat, Lake and Cattle Co., J2W or Judge to Win. Mountain State Nursery, the British White Association, Western Ag, Sanderson Ford, GNC Water and Ice, the Arizona Hereford Association, and Stotts Equipment. All right, our breed champions are beginning to enter. Our champion Angus is entry 2486, exhibited by Styles Patton. Will be followed by our champion Brangus, entry 7278, shown by Connor Keel. Our champion Hereford is entry 7702, shown by Madison Fisher. Our champion Red Angus is number 4548, also shown by Madison Fisher. Our champion Shorthorn is entry 5927, shown by Taylor White. Our champion All Other Breeds is entry 6308, shown by Brentley Wilkerson. And our champion percentage is entry 5727, shown by Lane Hagan. After letting the champions walk a bit around the ring, we will bring in our reserves. Entry 6446, Braden Wheeler from our Angus division. Our reserve Angus is entry 7275, Dakota Heap. Our reserve Hereford is entry 6031, shown by Caitlin Doors. Our reserve Red Angus is entry 4555, shown by Madison Fisher. Our reserve Shorthorn is entry 6001, shown by Cameron Matos. Our reserve All Other Breeds is entry 3359, shown by Aaron Curley. And our reserve percentage heifer is entry 6076, shown by Aaron Curley. While we are working the cattle, we would like to go through and thank the sponsors for the Grand Champion Junior Heifer Awards. They will be receiving a banner sponsored by Winchester Grain Company, a buckle sponsored by Old Town Horse and Pet, and a Sullivan Supply tack box sponsored by Sullivan Supplies. The Reserve Champion Supreme Heifer will be receiving a Sullivan Supply clipper box sponsored by Sullivan's, and a banner sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show. Green champion heifer will need to come to the announcer's booth to receive their tag box after the show.
Come on, big girl.
Well, it's been a really fun day, folks, and I know we've got some showmanship yet to go, but you know, this has been a long one for me up to this point, but it's been really, really good. And you never know when you get asked to judge a show, and I've been fortunate enough to go to a lot of different places and meet a lot of really neat people. You just never know what you're going to get into. And then when you step in foot, and I remember seeing the first couple classes walk through in that Angus breed, and I was like, man, this show's going to be really good. And it never disappointed. There was never a breed that went through this ring or that I couldn't find something I liked. And I mean that with all sincerity. And you never know what's coming next. And so I applaud you kids here that have worked hard, because some of you guys those of you that are the parents of these kids will understand this, but some of you just regular bystanders that are here watching the show, this is, to put together cattle that look like this takes a lot of things. And first of all, it takes the right genetic selections, but probably more importantly, it takes lots of time and lots of sacrifice. And that's probably something we share together as a showing family with you guys. Whether we're competitors or not, we share that same passion and the ability to translate that kind of work ethic onto our kids and whatnot. And I think there's no better way for me to spend my Christmas break than down here with you guys in some warm weather. And I was pumped when I got asked to judge this show. And you guys have been absolutely great with these heifers and just the hospitality that you've brought to me as well. As far as the cattle in front of me, and I've got a steer show to sort tomorrow, so this won't be the last time I talk, so bear with me a little bit. As far as the cattle go, at this point, and you've probably heard me say it about 100 times so far today, when they're this good, you just use the one that hits you the hardest. And there's a couple of them that hit me pretty hard throughout the day, and you know, that's just the nature of the beast. And I'm going to show you that here in just a moment, but I want to tell you guys how proud I am. If your parents ringside, and this is what you've put forth for your kids, you've done an outstanding job, because what's most important about this show is not what's in the ring, it's what's on the halter. And we mean that sincerely. I've had a blast out here today, guys. This show has been nothing but spectacular up to this point. So I got some showmanship yet to do. I'm going to go show you the two that I like for Grand and Reserve, but if you guys would, it's a big crowd here. Give them all your energy. Put together a big round of applause for these kids as I get you champion of Reserve Supreme.
Our Grand Champion Junior Heifer is from our Angus division, entry 2486, shown by Styles Patton. We will bring in the reserve from that division, entry 6446, Braden Wheeler, to compete for reserve. The rest of the reserves are excused at this time. Our reserve grand champion went to entry 6446, Braden Wheeler from our Angus division. We'd like to thank our judge today. Our judge was Dr. Chris Cassidy from Kenny, Iowa. This concludes the junior heifer portion of the show. The junior showmanship will begin shortly after we take a break to work the ring.